What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. So, I had to address some things, man. Just what I see as a Blazers fan, you know what I'm saying? From some of these other Blazers fans out here that do YouTube, you know what I'm saying? I feel a lot of you guys are very, very disrespectful to these players, man. I just do. I understand people wanting the Blazers to have like different options and everything, and just because it's been reported that Jeremy Grant is an option, that doesn't really mean necessarily that that's the only option that the Blazers are going to pursue, man. Now, just saying that they're going to pursue him, like, we know that Jeremy Grant is a very highly coveted player. I'm sure the Bulls would love to have him right now. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the situation in Portland that he can come into, I think that would be good for both parties, man. On the real, I'm just going to be honest. I feel Jeremy Grant has improved his game tremendously to show and prove that he can be a featured option. But does that mean he's the second option or the third option? That's just how I feel like, depending on the game plan for that day. You know what I'm saying? He could be the second option, or he could be the first option. He might be going for 40, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Dame and Ant are the type of players that'll look out for their teammates, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be the isolation like that. Is there going to be times for isolation? Absolutely. Sometimes some of these teams are very good defensively. So you're going to have some plays to where Dame is going to have to isolate, you know what I'm saying? To where maybe Jeremy Grant is going to have to isolate. So there will be times where that's needed. And I just feel like having a guy next to Dame like Jeremy Grant will raise his efficiency. I feel like it'll raise Dame's efficiency. You know what I'm saying? Because Jeremy Grant is a very good passer too. I feel like the 2.4 assists that he averages on the year, it doesn't really tell you what type of passer he really is. You know what I'm saying? I think he can be a guy that, he can manipulate the defense to where he's going to drive and he'll kick out if he sees somebody. You know what I'm saying? Is he the greatest passer? No, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? But he has that in his game, and that's good to be a versatile player like him. He's definitely good on the defensive end. I'm hearing people saying that he's overrated defensively. Like, I mean, come on now, man. Like, you do understand that he's playing for the Pistons, right? Now, is he going to play at his absolute hardest on that side when no one on his team really is playing that hard on that side or making the right assignments, So, but to say that, come on now, man. We know what type of player he is defensively. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a player that could be all-star caliber. Let's not pretend, man. We can't pretend like that. You know what I'm saying? But this is what some Blazers fans are saying. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are saying that he's got overrated defense. I heard it myself with my own 2 ears. I listen. I listen to the pulse of what the Blazers are out there, like what Blazers fans are feeling. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like a lot of them are crazy with some of their takes, man. Some of their assessments on players, I feel, is very bad, But, I mean, that's just me. I mean, there's no disrespect or nothing. It's not personal. I don't know any of you guys, man. I just hear a lot of suspected white supremacist ideology, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to disrespect nobody, man. That's not my style. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to let people know what I see as a black man and my perspective. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I see, Now, I'm going to read a part of this article. And if there's people out there that are really truly looking at possibly going into journalism, I feel like Chris Haynes is an excellent example of what you should do and how you should act as a journalist when you're trying to portray what the players are saying, not your opinion on what the player is saying, you know? That's really driven a lot of fans over the years in basketball and all sports, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? To where, like, you guys don't really understand. Like, you guys just do it on reflex, it feels like, that you guys like to disrespect players, man. There's no point of doing any of that. Jeremy Grant is not this bad player. He's just not. He's a very good player. He just is, you know? And you don't have to want him to come, but to say, like, he's a problem, he's going to want the ball, that's being just ingenuous, man. It just is. I don't think Jeremy Grant's out there saying that, because I don't think the Blazers would be targeting him if he was. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like he's just this selfish player. Like, you guys are trying to paint him as like James Harden or something, you know? And then some of the shots that y'all be taking at Dame's cousin, man. Now, I don't know. Like, I don't disrespect players, man. They're here to entertain, you know what I'm saying? Keljin Blevins is not the greatest player of all time, so why are we acting like he is? You know, I just don't understand why people love to pick on these players like they do and think that it's okay, man. It's just not. I find it highly disrespectful as a Blazers fan how some of you guys act, man. I do. I really do, you know? And I know some of y'all be watching. I know. It's okay. It's all good, man. It's good. It's always great to hear another fan's perspective that's not the same as everyone else, man. I'm not a fan that's out there like scared to engage with other people's, you know, opinions and stuff. I'm not like that, man. I've just never been. Like, I actually enjoy other people's takes. Like, I think on my channel, if you go through some of my videos and some of my most loyal subscribers that I have, like the homie, Stringer Bell, that's the homie right there, man. That's the straight homie, straight up. Much respect to him. We always go back and forth. But I know he's real with it, man. Because he ain't over there, like, me and him disagree, like, almost all the time, I feel, you know? So I'm not one to, like, I may disagree, but I'm gonna keep it respectful. As long as, like, if you do come over here, it's gotta be reciprocated, man. I don't like people just coming over. Like, if you got a disagreement on how I feel about a player or anything, I challenge you guys to come over and say something. I'm not gonna be blocking you or none of that stuff. That's just weird to me. That's kiddie stuff, man. I'm a grown ass black man. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown as hell. So I'm not gonna be doing that. I can actually engage in your dialogue. You know what I'm saying? If you guys do want to come, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that I'm speaking to, you know what I mean? Because I just don't like some of your takes, man. I don't. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like it. Disrespect. You're giving Dame's cousin disrespect. That's a shot at Dame to me. You know what I mean? You're talking about the man's family. You know? Yeah, you guys try to keep it. You say that you keep it basketball, but you give them those little corny names and stuff. That's not cool, man. Especially if you guys are righteous. If you are righteous, what you're doing, talking about Blev God, I don't like that, man. No man is God, man. Don't do that. That's not cool. Okay? That's just one example. But I just want to read this. What Dame says to a question that Chris Haynes did. What stood out to me is you said your best is yet to come. Looking at your situation in Portland, do you feel like your best is yet to come personally or collectively with the Blazers? And this is why Dame, to me, is one of the best players. And like, it's not even No question whatsoever. And I'm not just talking about as a player, like as a person in general. The dude gives great answers to his, like, to the questions that people ask. And he does it in a way that is real. You know what I'm saying? He gonna not hold back, you know? And this is what I like about him. Because in this statement, he says, I think personally, my best is yet to come, 100%. Like I said, this is my first time being able to take a step back and just fully address my development. Over the course of my career, there have always been things that I've wanted to correct or get better at. But maybe I had a long season and went into the playoffs, and then we had a quick turnaround. Whatever the case may be, I never had this much time to fully break down my game and really challenge myself development-wise. Man, that's 2 times he spoke about development. Understanding that he can be better as a player still, like that he can still reach a peak that he hasn't yet. You know what I'm saying? And he's in that position now. He wants to become the MVP. He's working on his game now to do that, to lead this team. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of fans, like, you guys do a lot of double talking, you know, like you guys don't have the courage to say like what you really feel. Like you guys do this weird stuff. Like you make fun of Dame's cousin being on the team. Like, what does that matter, man? You know, like Blevins ain't doing nothing to you guys personally to even attack him like you do. But you do. But I'm just here as a fan of the Blazers, just like you guys, to show you the error of your ways. And this is all just a learning experience for everyone, man. You know, it's no disrespect, you know, no disrespect, not at all. Because that's not what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? Now, if people come and they do disrespect, then that will be reciprocated on my end. You know what I'm saying? That's just how things work. You know what I'm saying? And so listen to this. Working on things that I'm not comfortable with all the time. Things that other guys at my position do really well. Very interesting. To me, players that do things a little that better than Dame to make him like MVP caliber, like Chris Paul, like Steph Curry. I think Dame being off the ball next season, I think that'll be very good for him. Not having to carry that load. But of course, when the game is on the line, down the stretch, we know how clutch Dame is. You know what I'm saying? I really have a hard time believing that Dame is not going to be right back to what he's been next season, man. It's clear as day that we need talent, man. I think a guy that the Blazers should really hone in on, in my opinion, is AJ Griffin in the draft, man. If we could draft AJ Griffin, I think that's a win for the Blazers, man, because he can come in and play right away. You know what I'm saying? I think he would be a rotation player right away. You know what I'm saying? With his skill set, with his catch and shoot ability, there's things that he needs to work on, absolutely. But I feel like Coach Billups and his staff is the absolute best case scenario for his game and his development over time. You know what I'm saying? I think he's that dude, man. Now, if we get up in the top of the draft, I want Jabari Smith. There's no doubts. You know what I'm saying? That dude has a skill set that is very hard to teach. You know what I'm saying? And I think him alongside Coach Billups playing with Dame, players like Ant playing with Nurk, is going to make him grow into what he probably should be as a player, you know? Like a borderline star. I think he could do that with the Blazers. I think he could become that. But I just wanted to speak on, this is coming from Dame, so you know this is coming from the front office as well. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that doesn't really get spoken about from many Blazers fans. And the fact that we have many different options to choose from to get the talent that Coach Billups and Dame feels that they really need to compete. You know what I'm saying? They got the $22 million trade exception. We got a $6 million trade exception. We got the full mid-level exception. We got the biannual exception. We have an opportunity and we got flexibility. There are guys that we can bring in that can help us, that can make us a team that we can compete for a championship, but we have to execute that. What in this statement from Dame is false? What in there is false? Nothing. Beautifully talked about, but not many fans really want to talk about that. They want to focus solely on cap space. I don't get that, man. There's other avenues that we have available, and Dame is laying them out for you right there. You know? So, yeah. Cap space isn't the only thing. I think everybody understands. I know I understand that. You know? I understand that. So the cap space being at 60, okay, cool. It's not at 60. But we still have, if I'm not mistaken, the last I checked, we're top 5. At least top 5 in the amount of cap space that we have as a team. So we're definitely going to be major players. You know, we have an opportunity if like a star gets disgruntled to even get a star, possibly like a bona fide star. Jerami Grant is a player that can become like an all-star. And if he does become an all-star, then I'd put him as a star, you know. But yeah, man, it's just not talked about enough, I don't feel, from Blazers fans. The ones that are doing, like, podcasts all the time, they don't really talk about this stuff. They don't break it down. Like, for me, if we get a guy in free agency, say, like Mo Bamba, to be our backup to Nurk, you know what I'm saying? Sign Nurk to a very friendly contract, you know? And then, say, Bamba just shows up and shows out, and he just, you know, pushes Nurk to where you're like, man, this dude Mo Bamba, you know? So it would then in turn create an opportunity for the Blazers, say that, you know, it's not going as planned, you know, or Nurk gets hurt or something possibly, or he's just not the same guy that he was this year or something, you know? But a team is like, oh, man, I think Nurk over here, you know, he could really help our team. And then there's another trade piece possibly, you know. But we know that Dame and Nurk are very good friends, man. We know this. And what Nurk's doing this year is beast mode. So I don't even like entertaining that idea, but there's so many fans that talk about that stuff. I just have to address it, you know. I think what Nurk's done speaks for itself, man. His numbers speak for themselves. Dude was an absolute terror. And it's proven that Coach Billups and his staff have a very good rapport with big men. Just add in a guy like Jerami Grant with his skill set and the things that he's able to do. Like, yeah, he only averages 2.4 assists, but that's with the Pistons, man. Just imagine him being able to kick out to an AJ Griffin on the corner, or an Ant at the top, or a Dame at the corner. You know what I'm saying? Even Nurk has gotten much better at the three. But then say you got a guy coming off the bench, you know, Nurk's maybe in foul trouble. You bring in Mo Bamba. I think he's improved dramatically on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? I think he's shuffling his feet. He's much more fluid now. You know what I'm saying? His jumper is better now. His three ball is better now. He's, man. And then, like, what I feel about what's going on right now with the players that are playing now. Trendon Watford, Keon Johnson, Brandon Williams, Greg Brown, Drew Eubanks. I think all five of those dudes, all five of them could be our back end of the rotation guys, you know? And it's good to have those types of guys. So say, you know, they want to rest Dame a game, you know, get Keon some minutes, get him some burn, or get Greg Brown some burn for a guy, you know what I'm saying? So they continue their development while trying to contribute to a winning team. You know what I mean? Because if you go top to bottom, 1 through 15, having guys that you can rely on in Coach Billups' system, that's beautiful, man. That's what you want as a as a coach, I'm sure as a player, as a GM, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not quick to pass judgment on Joe Cronin yet. Like a lot of these fans are. They're already acting like Joe Cronin is Neil O'Shea. Like we don't even know what's gonna happen yet, man. You know? Like it's looking more and more like we're gonna get New Orleans pick. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing as good. You know what I'm saying? They just lost to the Spurs. The Spurs might be able to overtake them the way they're playing down this stretch. Josh Richardson balling. Uh, DeJounte Murray balling. You know what I'm saying? Jakob Poeltl balling. You know? This ain't the Spurs. Keldon Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man. If we could get Keldon Johnson, man. Oh, my goodness. Like, that's another guy that nobody even really talks about. At least I know from Blazers fans' perspective, I ain't heard nobody talking about Keldon Johnson like that. But we also forget he was over there with the Olympic team. He won gold, man. You know? Shoot. I know everybody likes OG Anunoby and all that stuff, but Keldon Johnson be doing stuff that OG do too. You know what I'm saying? And he's hitting the three ball. And it's looking like his three ball is deadly. You know what I'm saying? So say we didn't get AJ Griffin, but we were able to poach Coach Popovich out of Keldon Johnson. Maybe he can move up in the draft or something. You know? Man, there's a lot of different possibilities, man, that this team could go. Because I think Keldon can play. I think he's best suited at the three, but he could play four too because he's strong enough, I think. He moves his feet well enough. You know, he's a very good defender. So getting him and then him having like spell time with Nas, you know what I'm saying? Or probably have Keldon starting and then have Nas be able to rehab back into, you know, his role. And then if he challenges for the starting job, it is what it is, you know? That's just a good thing to have. That's what you want whenever you have talented players. Like, I would love to see Keon continue to develop with us, you know? He did have 6 turnovers today, just like Trendon Watford, but I want to continue to see their developments. I thought Drew Eubanks, like his per 36 looked good, and he's living up to those per 36, man. When he's getting those minutes, man, he's very productive. So if we have him as our third center, I'm not mad at all. He's proven that he's a menace. Like, you can put him in sometimes, like, say there's a guy that you want kind of rattled, you know, like, say, put him on AD every once in a while. He could use his 6 fouls, you know, just get under AD's skin and maybe get him ejected from a game, you know what I mean? That kind of give us momentum, you know what I mean? Down the stretch of a game, you know? Like, this is the type of stuff I'll be thinking about as a fan, man, you know? Just having so much, like, the most amount of talent possible from 1 to 15, I feel like that's the best way to maximize this team. You don't, yeah, they always say, like, oh, you need stars. Yes, I do understand that. But if you just have a good collection of dudes, like 10 dudes that can get the job done, you know, they play hard, they play together, they don't make mistakes, and they're shooting it efficiently. It's clear as day that Coach Billups and his scheme, they preach like efficiency, like efficient shots for people. Like you can tell that they work on that stuff. You know, it's very, very telling. Like, I just feel like Coach Billups definitely has a shot at becoming Coach of the Year one of these years, man. I just do. They get the right team around these guys, and I feel like Jerami Grant is a great start if that is the case. But there's others out there, you know. Like, for me, nobody's even talking about John Collins. You know what I mean? Like, I know he was disgruntled earlier in the season. You know, he ain't playing right now. I don't know if it's because he's just, you know, not really wanting to be there or what, you know. But he's not playing right now. So that's very intriguing to me. Possibly looking at him, you know, like, could a top 10 pick, you know, kind of intrigue the Hawks like that, you know? I don't know. And then he could be a guy that we build around too, because he's pretty young still. He's young. And Jerami Grant's still young too, but John Collins is even younger than him, you know? And having him next to Nurk, protecting the paint, our interior paint, our interior defense will be beastly next year if we get him, you know? It would be very intriguing. So back to this article, man. A championship in Portland is still your desire? That's the only thing I care about, honestly. It seems like after I announced that I was having surgery, people were like, oh, he's 31 and he's having this done? Man, 31 is not old. I couldn't agree more, man. There's so many different, but I'm just going to go with 3 guys, and I'm going to continue to harp these 3 guys. Kyle Lowry, Chris Paul, Steph Curry. 3 very skilled point guards in this league. Some of the best point guards in this league. You know what I'm saying? Also, I believe Mike Conley Jr. is also a little bit older than Dame, but his game is aging just fine. You know what I'm saying? Isn't it? He's a very big piece to the Jazz team right now. You know what I'm saying? So there's guys out there that are older than Dame that are still doing it at a high level and contributing to winning teams. The Warriors, they're very good this year. The Suns, they're the best team in the league right now, thanks to Chris Paul. And, of course, Devin Booker and Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton, you know. But they built most of their guys through the draft, and they were able to poach Chris Paul with their pitch, you know, and that changed things for them. So they're going to be a problem, and I definitely want to see a fully healthy Blazers team match up with them because they're the creme de la creme, you know. That's who I want to see. I feel like the Blazers definitely could be a problem next year to the Suns, to the Warriors, to Memphis. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till the Blazers play them. You know what I mean? So we can measure up and see where we are. See if a Coach Billups, Joe Cronin, Dame Lillard team that's built with guys that they feel can contribute to help win a championship, how they feel it's going to go, you know, with those guys. Is it possible it might not work? Sure, but that's every team. Every team has that, you know what I mean? So I'm very intrigued about the next season for the Blazers because I just don't remember a time where they were going to be major players in everything, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to get guys, man. They're going to get very good players, man. I just, the way Dame's talking, these players are seeing this, man. You know what I'm saying? They're seeing this. This is like, to me, Dame is very smart, man. This dude, to me, this interview is like, to me, it's like letting people know, like letting the league know. Don't worry about me, man. I'll be good, you know? He definitely feels like this is going to be a critical off season. I agree. I definitely agree. You know what I'm saying? This is like the chapter where Dame is looking to get a championship. You know what I mean? So everybody else has to be all in on that, especially for what he's done for this team, you know, keeping them to where they are, giving them a streak of playoff berths, you know what I mean? That, of course, this year it'll be snap, but it was the longest running, you know what I'm saying? And Dame is a huge part of that. So you got to put some respect on his name, man. I know there's a lot of Dame Lillard fans out there, but some of y'all do kind of be getting on him a little bit on some stuff that you shouldn't be. Like I specifically stated in this video, you know? But I don't really have too much else on this one. This is your boy P Money. Tell me what you guys think, man. Seriously, tell me what you guys feel about what I'm saying. I feel like getting Jeremy Grant, that's not a bad deal at all. That's how I feel. Ultimately, if that's the move, I'm not mad at all. Not mad at all. I think he helps Dame a lot on both ends of the floor. And I feel like he's a better playmaker than what his numbers suggest with assists. And I feel like he's going to be a guy for sure that will fit with this team. That's what I see. But this is your boy P Money, and I'm off this.